Hi sisters, I'm Molly, for those of you who don't know me. For today's session, you're going to need a tennis ball, a strap, and a yoga block, and you can set those to your side for right now. And to begin, we're just going to call all parts of ourselves into the present moment. So if you'd like to sit back in your chair, you might close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Otherwise, you might cast your gaze somewhere in the room that feels comfortable. And we're just going to begin by becoming aware of the surfaces underneath you and behind you, and seeing if you can allow yourself to be held by the chair and by the ground. Perhaps softening. And then I invite you to notice whatever sensations are present in your body right now. And as you're noticing, see if you can do so through the eyes of a loving observer. So we don't need to change anything, just noticing. I invite you to become aware of your breath, the inhale and the exhale, and how it is moving through you in this moment. Again, without any need to change, just noticing. And I invite you to bring your hands together at heart center and bring your awareness to your heart space, acknowledging that your heart is nestled, held between the lungs, and as you breathe, the heart is nourished and massaged. And you might tune into what your heart is telling you in this moment. And here, if you'd like to set an intention for your practice today, or maybe you'd like to dedicate your practice to someone or something, then I invite you to bring your hands together, a little bit of heat into your hands, rubbing them together. And then go ahead and place your hands wherever you are looking for some loving touch. And as you place your hands, see if you can receive the touch from your hands and also through your hands. You might let your hands linger right where you place them, or maybe you go back for more heat and choose a different place to rest your hands. Breathing into that point of connection. And once more, have the opportunity to go back if you'd like to, or linger right where you have your hands placed. And once again, just placing wherever your body is calling for some loving touch and attention. Then I invite you to bring your hands over your heart space, and together taking 3 collective breaths, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling again. As you exhale, you might open your mouth or sigh. Last time. Now, as we begin our movement, you might keep your eyes closed if you would like to, or perhaps you gently blink your eyes open. And then from here, just go ahead and let your arms hang down at your side. And then rotate the palms forward, let the shoulders open, maybe the eyes go to the ceiling, broadening through the sternum, and then rotate in the opposite direction and let the head bow as the shoulders curl forward, palms face back. And once again, opening through the arms, the collarbones, eyes might go to the ceiling, and then rotating the arms as you bow forward. And as you open up, you might receive more support from the chair as you connect more through the back of the spine. And then you might notice the spine gently peeling away as you curl forward. And we'll just go back and forth here a few more times in your own timing. Just acknowledging the lungs gently shifting around the heart as you curl forward and open up. And we'll just take one more back and forth wherever you are. And then when you feel ready, go ahead and bring the spine right on top of the hips, and go ahead and take your left hand over to your right leg, and you're just going to slide that hand forward towards your knee and then slide it back, and then we'll do that on the other side. Once again, sliding the hand forward and sliding it back. And here there's this opportunity for some spiraling in the mid-upper back. So we bring the spine towards the chair, receive support from the chair, and then we gently peel away from the chair. We'll just do this again a couple times on each side. Take your time. When you've completed your last cycle, then go ahead and come back through center. And now from here, let's go ahead and take the left hand, and we're going to just sweep it back behind us. You can follow the eyes with the hand and then bring it forward and around to the opposite leg. And then once again, we'll open it. We'll just let it kind of swing back behind us and then bring it to the opposite side of the lap. Just do this a couple times. As you're doing this, notice the places where you feel flow and freedom through the upper back, the lungs, the heart, and just notice if there's any constriction or tension. And instead of fighting against the tension or constriction, just invite a water element into your movement and ease, gentleness. And then go ahead and bring that hand to the lap. We'll take the other side, so letting it kind of swing back behind you, and then placing that hand on the opposite side of the lap. And again, here we have this like gentle spiraling and rotation through the upper spine, head, neck, lungs, heart. Let's just take one more here. Good. And then from here, go ahead and stand into your sitting bones and let your spine grow really long. And then we're going to return the spine to the chair. So receiving that support, kind of coming home. And then we're going to depart once again, finding that down to go up. And then bringing it back. Spine connects with the chair, receives that support. If you want to tie some breath to it, it might be the inhale as you come up and lengthen, and then exhale as you return home. We'll just do this a couple more times. And then this next time, let's go ahead and come out, and we'll stay out. And from here, let's walk the sitting bones forward towards the front of the chair. And once you come to the front of the chair, go ahead and readjust your feet so that they're nice and stable in front of you. And we're just going to sit bone walk side to side, finding this kind of shortening and lengthening through the side body. Got a squeaky chair accompanying me today. But that's par for the course for this class. Good, just a couple more side to side. And then slowly bring that weight right through center, right through both of your sitting bones. And then from here, let's take the tailbone and we're gonna roll forward on the sitting bones, letting the tailbone kind of flip back. And then we're gonna do the opposite. So tailbone kind of tucking forward as you roll back on the sitting bones. And we'll just do this a couple times. And if you feel, once again, any like constriction or tension, I invite you to make the motion a little smaller and invite in some ease. Warm butter is always, or melted butter is always what comes up for me when it comes to joints and this kind of fluidity. I'll just take one more back and forth. Good, and then once again, kind of find your center over both of those reaches. And then from here, we're gonna go to the opposite end of the spine. So you're just gonna tuck your chin towards your chest and then float it up towards the ceiling. With the pelvis and legs nice and stable and just the top of the spine moving. We'll just take one more down and up. And then bringing the head right on top of the spine. And from here, let's take one arm up towards the ceiling. Now let's find that length first. Now stay grounded through this hip as you reach over to the opposite side. Take a couple breaths here. If you find your shoulder creeping up towards your ear, you might bring it towards your ear and then just let it melt and soften down away from your ear. And then you can sweep this arm down. Let's find a little bit of flow to it. So you sweep it down, bring it up and over. Now you might, if you want something for your eyes to do, look down towards the ground on one side of the lap, bring it up, and then looking down on the other side of the lap. Let's just take one more here. Good, and then let's go ahead and cross the arms over the lap and then round the spine. And then we'll go ahead to the other side. So take the opposite arm up. Let's find that length first, nice and long through the spine and the arm, and then we reach over, stay grounded through the opposite leg and hip. Couple breaths here. Once again, if you feel that shoulder kind of creeping up, you might give into it and then melt it down away from your ears. One more breath here. And then take that arm, sweep it down. We'll find some flow as you reach it down, scoop it up, sweep it over. And once again, if you like that journey of the eyes from one side of the lap up and then down to the other side of the lap. Once more. Good. Now let's take the head right on top of the spine. We'll take it over to the left, through center, over to the right, finding some glide. Not worried about how big the range of motion is, just seeing if we can find some ease of movement on either side. Let's go ahead and rotate over to the left. We're going to take that right hand and reach it back behind us, kind of opening up through the scalenes, the front of the chest, pressing that palm back. And as you bring the head through center, wrap this hand to the opposite shoulder. And then we'll do that again. So reach it open and wrap the hand, head over to the right. Let's just take one more back and forth here. Good. And then staying on that side, just the hand open and close. And then open and close as water. So how would water retract? How would water flow forth? And then drawing as water up into a fist. And then let's take that wrist roll. And then reverse direction. And then taking that arm, let's sweep it up, hands open, and then spiraling from the pinky to the thumb, spiraling it towards the opposite shoulder. And then from pinky to thumb, spiraling it out. So spiraling in and then casting it out. And again, here's an opportunity for a little bit of spiraling through the spine as well as the arm and hand. Let's just take one more in and then out. Good, and we'll put that hand on the lap. Go ahead and rotate the head over to the right and the left. We'll pause at the right, draw that left hand back behind you, opening through that front of the chest and neck. And then as you come over to the left, wrapping that hand over to the right. And then we'll do that a few times on each side. Last time. Good. And then we'll take this hand, open and close. And you might already be in the water element, but if not, go ahead and explore maybe the reaching out as water and the drawing in as water, fluid. And then go ahead and draw that into a fist. And we'll find the wrist roll in one direction and reverse direction. Good, and from here we'll take that up to the side, and then from pinky to thumb, spiral it in, arm, head, torso, and then spiral it out. Pinky to thumb, and then pinky to thumb. Last time. Good. And then let's place both hands on the lap. Just press the arms forward as you round through the spine. Take a couple of breaths here. And then drawing the hands back, opening up through the sternum, extending the spine. Maybe the eyes go to the ceiling, or maybe they're on the wall in front of you. A couple of breaths here. And then finding a flow between those 2 points, rounding and opening, extending. Last time. All right, so from here, let's go ahead and bring out the tennis ball. And let's place it under the left foot. And to start, just go ahead and do whatever your foot wants to do. Just kind of open up through the bottom of the foot. And then here's some options. You might roll the ball forward and point through the foot, extending that ankle, and then flexing through the foot as you draw it back. So finding that lengthening of the top of the ankle and the crease in the top of the ankle as you roll the ball forward and back. And then here you might bring it to the ball of the foot and kind of zigzag along the ball of the foot and the toes. And then you might bring it to the heel, and once again find a little zigzag. Ball rolls away from you, it's all good. And we'll do that a couple of times. Once you feel good on that side, then go ahead and roll it over to the other side. And once again, just find a little bit of roll. And then if you'd like to incorporate the point of the foot as you roll the ball forward and flex of the foot as you roll it back. So finding that lengthening of the top of the ankle and then the crease of the top of the ankle. And then taking it to the ball of the foot and once again finding that zigzag. Toes, might roll it to the heel, find that zigzag. Good. And then from here, you might bring it in between the feet if that feels good to you and kind of get the inside of the arch of the foot. And then once you're done with the tennis ball, go ahead and put it to the side. And then let's take the toes lifted. And then starting from the pinky toes, let's set them down one at a time to the big toe. And we'll do that a couple times. So floating the toes up, and then from pinky to big toe, setting them down. Last time. And then we'll start on the left side. We're just going to scrunch the toes forward like we're gathering a piece of towel underneath the feet. And then we're going to smooth that towel back as we inchworm the foot back. We'll do that just one more time on this left side, inchworming it forward and back. And then we'll do it to the other side. So lifting the toes up and scrunching, getting that towel underneath the foot, and then smoothing that towel out. And last time. Then once you got both feet underneath you, go ahead and float the heels up and then set the heels down. Give a slight press down into the heels, and then we'll do that again. Lift and lower. And as you're moving through the feet, the legs, see if you can really anchor into your sitting bones. So standing into your sitting bones at the bottom of your seat, finding this length through your spine. Good, one more time. And then pressing the whole of the foot down into the ground, spreading the toes and really pressing the toes into the ground. Now keep the length of your spine, and we're going to hinge forward, creasing at the hips, and give some more weight into the legs and the feet, and then press it back, returning the spine. And we're going to just go back and forth a few times, the rocking chair. As we bring weight into the legs, we could stand up at any moment, but no, we return the spine back. Just getting that energy from the heels to the back of the leg, toes, ball of the foot, and this long spine. Let's just do this 2 more times, forward and back. Good. All right, so now we're going to go into roll down. So working through the spine, If you would like, you might place a block in front of you to kind of raise the ground a little bit. Not necessary if you don't want it. But we're going to start finding that length once again through the spine, and then we'll inhale on the exhale, dropping chin to chest and peeling down vertebra by vertebra. Now you'll determine where your roll down ends, so you might be a little bit more upright. Maybe the hands go down the front of the legs. Maybe you fold a little bit more and place your hands on the block or on the ground, releasing the head and neck forward. Take a few breaths here. You might hum on the exhale. Or maybe you even sigh on the exhale. Good. You might shake your head yes or no. Just kind of release that head and neck forward. Take an inhale to prep the ascent, and as you exhale, press down through your feet and roll up through your spine, vertebra by vertebra. Take your time. Head and neck, last thing to come up. Good. All right, we're going to do this one more time. And this time we'll add halfway lift on the bottom. So we'll take an inhale. As we exhale, chin to chest, rolling down vertebra by vertebra. Bringing the weight into the feet and the legs. Once again, releasing the head and neck forward. And then from here, as you inhale, halfway lift, extending the spine. As you exhale, fold forward, head and neck release. Inhale, press through the legs as you halfway lift. Exhale, fold it forward. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. And this time we'll root to rise. Inhale to prep. Exhale, press through your feet and legs as you roll up through your spine. Take your time, take your time. Good. All right, from here, let's take an inhale, float the arms up. And exhale, hands connect through center. Let's do that a few times. Good, one more. Good, let's take a couple breath cycles right here. And we're gonna get into sun salutation. So we'll put all of those parts that we just did together. So we'll start, inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, dive it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press down through the legs as you rise up, arms up, hands together. And one breath cycle here, inhaling and exhaling. And then we'll go out again, inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. And exhale through center. One breath cycle here. And we'll do one more. Inhaling. Exhale, dive it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms up. Exhale, hands through center. Let's just take a breath cycle here. Good. All right, we can release the hands. I'm going to scoot back a little bit. If you want some more support through the back of the chair, that's an option. And from here, let's just roll the shoulders one at a time. And just noticing here if where there's flow and space and where there might be constriction. And just offering kind of this sliding through the scapula, the shoulders, the collarbones. And then reverse direction. All right, and from here, let's find some shoulder rolls. One at a time, back. And just noticing the places of space and flow, and noticing where there might be constriction. And just offering the sliding of the bones. So sliding of the scapula, collarbone, shoulder, elbow, and then go ahead and roll it forward. And then both back. And forward. And then from here, gathering up tension, breathing it in, letting it out. Ha, release, good. We'll do that a couple times. Ha, good, one more. Ha, nice. All right, from here, let's take the hands straight up. And it's like you're grabbing something from the ceiling and you're gonna round the spine, draw it in. We'll do that again. So reach it up and then grab and draw it in. We'll do that a couple more times. Around the spine, draw it in. Good. And from here, I'm gonna adjust so I'm coming a little bit forward on the chair. And from here, pressing down into your right foot as you draw your left knee in. And then as you set that foot down, opening up through the spine. And then pressing down through your left foot as you draw your right knee in, rounding the spine, set it down and open. And we'll do this a couple times, finding that drawing in and that extending out. Just one more. Good. All right, from here, let's go ahead and get the strap. And we'll start on the left side. So go ahead and get a little bit of that touch of the strap. And then when you feel ready to lift, just go ahead and roll the shoulders back, and then drawing the shoulder blades down the back, and we'll take that leg up. And from here, go ahead and point and flex through your foot. And you might explore spreading the toes on the flex. And then when you feel ready, flexing through the foot, take the strap in the opposite hand as leg, and then draw it towards your midline. And really reach through that heel. And now you can keep your hands here, or you can take the hand out to the side. Same arm as leg. Good. And then from here, taking the strap in this hand, and then opening up through the leg, really connecting down through the supportive leg, and then from here you might reach the other arm open. Good, let's bring it back through center, take the strap in both hands, and then from here, bending the leg, drawing that knee in, and then extending out. And really give yourself the support of the strap as a sling. And see if as you draw the knee in that you can soften in that hip crease. We'll take this one more out and in. Good, and then setting that foot down, you might give a little tap tap. You might wobble that leg a little bit. Now let's take it over to the other side. Now once again, find that shoulder roll, kind of get situated in the upper back so that you can support the leg as it floats up, and then point and flex through the foot. And once again, if that's interesting to you, you might explore that spreading the toes on the flex. And then flexing through the foot, taking the strap opposite hand as leg, drawing it towards the midline. And then you have the option of bringing this other arm out. So reach in opposite directions with the foot and the hand on this side. And then taking the strap in this hand, really reaching down through the supportive leg as you open out, and then taking the other arm out to the side. Good, let's bring it back through the middle and bending and extending the leg. Once again, give yourself that support of the strap, really holding on to the weight of the leg as you draw out and in. I'll take one more. Good, then set this foot down. A little tap, tap, a little wobble. I'm not gonna spend the time to wrap this up right now, but if you would like to, go right on ahead. All right, from here, let's take the block and we're gonna situate it in between the legs. Now, if you don't want the block in between the legs, that's totally fine. You can just put it to the side. Here, there's the opportunity of that connection right through the midline of the legs. So really pressing down through the feet, drawing in through the legs. We're gonna bring the spine forward, hinging at the hip, pressing into the legs for chair pose. Take a couple of breaths here. And then you're gonna press back, return the spine upright. Now this time, as you come forward, you might reach the arms back in space, drawing the shoulder blades down the back, reaching the fingertips back behind you, crown of the head reaching forward and up at a diagonal. Pressing down through the feet. And then as you return the spine, you might bring the arms up. And then once again, as we come forward, you might bring the arms back. Now you might keep your arms back here, or if you would like, you might reach the arms up and forward at a diagonal. Again, pressing down through the heels, the ball of the foot, the toes. And then returning the spine. Good. We're gonna do this one more time, and you can choose where your arms are. Maybe they're out in front of you, maybe they're back behind you, perhaps they're in your lap, wherever you'd like to be with it. And then go ahead and return the spine. Let's take the block out, give a little wobble for the legs, kind of release that. And then from here, let's go ahead and step the legs out wide. And now pressing down through the legs, again, lengthen through the spine. And let's reach the arms wide at either side. And then go ahead and look over the left fingertips. We'll take a few breaths here, reaching forward and back. And then from here, go ahead and palm upturned, reach towards that palm, and then reverse warrior here. You can take your opposite elbow down to the lap as you reach it back. And then if you would like some motion through the head and neck, you might look down to the ground and then back up to the ceiling. And from here, stay connected through your feet and legs as you sweep the arm all the way through. Let it kind of dangle towards the floor for a moment. And then as you press down through your feet and legs, reach it up and around. And then we'll reverse course, going back and forth, circling. Good, one more. Good. And then from here, go ahead and take your hands to your lap and we'll find a torso swirl. Then go ahead and reverse direction. Good. And then from here, let's go ahead and go to the other side with our warrior two. So once again, reaching forward and back, you're gonna look over your right fingertips. And when you feel ready, palm upturned, reach towards that hand and reverse warrior, opposite elbow to lap. Now you could keep your eyes up towards the ceiling, or if you like that movement, you might look down to the ground and back up to the ceiling. And then bringing the arm all the way down, let it dangle for a moment, and then connecting down through your feet and legs as you reach it up and around. Good, just a couple more, opening and drawing in. Good. And then let's come through center, and from here let's take one shoulder in towards the center. You might look back behind you. And then returning to center, other side. And then coming back through center. Good. Let's go ahead and take the legs in. And from here, we're just gonna march. Letting the arms swing and the legs. And then from here, to mess with the brain a little bit, let's do same arm as leg. Good. And then switch back to opposite. Good. And then bringing in faster feet. You might do faster feet, you might do it with your arms as well. Good, 3, 2, 1, good, and then rest. And just take a moment of pause here, eyes open or closed, and just breathe. Notice what you notice. When you feel ready, float the arms forward. And we're going to take the left hand and we're going to draw it back like a bow, an arrow, and then bring it forward, slide it forward, other side. Good. One more time on each side. Good, and then from here, let's take the right hand over to the opposite side of the lap. Other hand either on the chair or on your low back. And we'll breathe in this twist for about 3 breaths or so. When you feel ready, just gently let the spine and everything kind of rebound towards center. Then we'll go to the opposite side, opposite hand to lap, and then somewhere behind you, either on the chair or on your low back. And breathing into this spiral. Once again, just let it release and kind of rebound gently. Good. All right, from here, let's just take one arm up and over and sweep it back, other side. Good. And then from here, we will get to standing. So to begin, we're just going to shift the weight from side to side. So finding that connection through the bottom of the feet, slight bend to the knee. You might think of the knees being buoyant or inviting that quality. And then from here, maybe widening the stance just a little bit, maybe about shoulder width apart as opposed to hip. And then from here, we're going to reach across center and reach. So giving the weight into the feet, into the legs, finding that bend of the knee. And now you can experiment with different planes. So you might reach a little lower, or maybe you're up high. But just finding that reach across midline and that connection down through your feet. Now bring it back through center. We're going to do a similar action, but this time we're going to loft the hand across midline. So you're going to float it up and then float it down, other side. And here there's the opportunity for that back leg to pivot. So we kind of reach from fingertips to toes. We'll do one more on each side. Good, bring it through center, and from here we'll just do a couple hip circles. And reverse direction. And then find a spot where you won't hit a chair or a friend, and from here you're just going to rotate the spine, let the arms swing. If you feel inspired to make some sound, this is a great opportunity for that. And then from here, gently let that go. And from here, just shaking out the hands, shaking out the arms. Now you might keep it in the arms, you might let it shift to the torso, maybe the legs get involved, maybe the feet stay on the ground, maybe they leave the ground. But just find like 15 seconds or so of the shaking. You might slow it down. You might speed it up. Just experiment here. Good, 5 more seconds. Good, and then go ahead and let that go. Take a moment, palms face forward, feet about hip width distance apart, eyes on the horizon for mountain pose. One more breath here. Good. All right, so we're going to go into a little balance challenge. So for this, you might want to be next to a chair or a wall. And from here, finding that hip width distance apart with the legs, and we're going to shift the weight over into the left side. Now taking that right heel, and you're going to swing that right heel towards your other foot and then swing it out. So we're swinging in and out, kind of working those external rotators right underneath the glutes. And then from here, swing that heel in, draw it in towards the other heel. Now you might keep the foot down on the ground. You might bring the heel up to connect with the other ankle, or you might bring your foot somewhere on your leg, whether it's on your low leg or up higher. And with the hands, you might keep your hand connected to the chair. Maybe bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. Maybe you bring your arms out into the branches of the tree. And test wherever your edge of balance is today. It's okay if there's shaking or wobbling, or maybe you fall out of it. Good. Good. Wherever you are, go ahead and set that other foot down. We might do a little shake in between, and then we'll go to the other side. So once again, finding hip width distance apart with the legs. Go ahead and bring the weight into the opposite leg. Starting with the heel on that left side, swing the heel in and swing it out. And in and out, kind of getting those rotators right underneath the glutes active. And then drawing that heel in, sweeping it into the other foot. Now you might keep the foot down once again, or maybe that heel lifts to connect with the other. Or maybe you put that foot somewhere on the leg, lower leg, up higher, and you can keep your hand connected to the chair or the wall. And then once again, you can find wherever you'd like to place your hands, challenge your balance. And if your eyes are on the floor right now, I challenge you to bring them up to the horizon. We'll just take one more breath here. Good, go ahead and release that. Once again, there might be a little shakeout. Okay, we're gonna do one more thing before we get down to the chair once again, and we'll do downward facing dog. So go ahead and turn your chair to face you. And from here, you can place your hands down on the seat, walk your feet back. You want to get your whole foot down on the ground, but bend your knees here. And you're going to reach through the arms, extend the spine long, find that stretch. Now this might be just right where you want to be, and you want to hold this for a few breaths. If you'd like to invite some movement into it, you might cantilever through the shoulders, draw your body forward into a plank position, and then draw your body back. Again, finding that bent knee long through the spine. And once again, you might draw yourself forward and back. We'll just do a couple back and forth. Good. When you feel ready, go ahead and gently step your feet forward towards the chair and rolling up through the spine. Good. Take your time and let's go ahead and sit down in the chair. Okay, from here, before we get into Shavasana, let's once again bring our hands together at heart center. Let's actually go ahead and bring a little bit of heat into the hands. And from here, I invite you to just gently sweep down the arm, both sides, and then wherever else you'd like to go with it. So maybe sternum, maybe belly, legs, just this point of connection. And then you might come back and get a little bit more heat. And from here, gently hug and just give a little squeeze. Just like gentle reassurance. Thanking our bodies for bringing us through this life, for dedicating ourselves to this practice so that we can be in community with one another. Good. And then from here, go ahead and do whatever shifting you need to do to get comfortable, finding your support. And you might keep your hands in your lap for Shavasana, or maybe you bring your hands to your heart center or resting somewhere else on your body. And just settling in for our final resting pose, eyes open or closed. Becoming aware of the sounds in the room. Noticing the temperature of air. And starting to bring your body back, yourself back into this space. Maybe making some small movements and gentle movements. And I invite you to bring hands together at heart center. Take 3 collective breaths together. Inhaling and exhaling again. Last time. I invite you to bow to your heart in gratitude of this practice. Namaste.